This is the Neewer extension tubes. This is for the Sony cameras with the E-mount. I'm going to be using the Sony A6500 with the APS-C frame. The extension tubes come with a 10mm and a 16mm. You can double them up to make a 26mm and simply take them apart to use as a 10mm or a 16mm. We're going to open it up and take a look, then I'll show you me testing it out around the house. These extension tubes just separate the distance from your sensor to your lens. There's no glass, it's just a hollow tube. Here you can see the rings can easily attach and detach. Using these rings also allow me to use my zoom. I would recommend the aperture to be at f8 or f5. And the best distance that worked for me was anywhere from 40mm up to 105mm that my lens would allow me to do. If I went much lower than 40mm, say to a 30mm or any lower than that, I'd be too close to the subject that I'd actually hit the subject with the lens before managing to get it into focus. So when using both extension tubes, I'd recommend anywhere from 40mm up. Here we'll have a quick look at some of the instructions. Now I'm going to take my 18 to 105 lens off, add the extension tubes with the 10mm and the 16mm, and then add my lens back on and adjust to around 40 to 50mm. I find this way you end up being around 3 inches away from the subject, allowing you to get much closer to take photos. Here you can see they simply twist and click into place. They feel like they made well and click well. Now let's put this into action, test it out and see what we can do. First I pick up any item on the desk, just testing it out and seeing how close we can get. Aperture's at f8 and I've got my zoom lens adjusted to 40mm. Here you can see I'm around 3 inches away from the Tipex that we're looking at. I take pictures but I also video. Here you can see I can get really close to the subject if needed. You wouldn't want to get much closer than this because otherwise you can't get any light to the subject because the lens is so close it shadows it. So what's nice with a zoom lens is you can actually zoom in to around 60mm, 80mm, and then you can get your camera further away from the subject if you need to brighten up that subject with a light. Or you can just remove one of the rings. This way you can use a prime lens or a zoom lens. Here we're going to test out with some more items, see what we can get in focus, see how close we can get or how far away we need to be from the objects. These extension tubes are priced around £30. You can get them off eBay or Amazon. So it's quite a nice cheap alternative just to check to see if you do like using the macro before going out and buying a macro lens itself. The cheapest prime macro lens I could see was priced around £150, second hand on eBay. So you can see that these are a cheaper way to get some of your macro shots. Here I've zoomed into about 85mm, so you can see I was able to get the camera further away from the object. Now I've zoomed in again to about 50mm, and you can see how close I can get the £10 note to the camera. Here the footage is a bit shaky as I'm trying to move it with my hands. You're going to get a lot better image if you just take a still photo. Here on another day, you see me taking the extension tubes out of my camera bag. We're going to attach it to my camera and then we're going to have a look and take some more photos, but we're going to attach a light this time. I don't want to get too close that the light isn't on the subject, but I do want to get close enough that it's a macro shot and a distance where I don't have to get too far away from the objects. Here I'm using a Vidgim RGB light. This light's priced around £25 on eBay or Amazon. I'll leave links in the description below for all of these if you'd like to check them out. Here I'm just testing out the extension tubes again using the light on some objects around the house and see how clear the images are. This is an aperture of f8 again. Here we're just going to check if the images are any good. And I've zoomed the lens into around 75mm. Switching your camera to manual focus would be recommended, but in all of these shots I keep it on autofocus. Having the extension tubes on will allow you to do macro shots only, being closer to the subject. The extension tubes will stop you taking long distance shots. If you want to take photos like normal, you'd have to remove the extension tubes and attach your lens. Thanks for watching, subscribe and leave a thumbs up, it'll be much appreciated. Welcome to the channel and I will see you on the next one.